Something that's really important to know is the fourth time he goes off, he goes back to the first. So it's not like he just continuously goes off to where he hits all enemies at 40%. Hey, thanks so much for checking out the channel. Today we are doing a brand new hero breakdown on the Thunderman, talking about Thor. He's got 749 on his attack, 735 on his defense, and 1394 on his health. Statistically, I do like it. It's about average and a little bit above average on his health total, but pretty decent stats. He is running at very fast speed. He's part of the Valhalla heroes, and specifically the Midgard heroes, which sets it up so all allies get 5%, 10%, and 15% attack for as long as the Midgard ally has low health. So if they got some low health, gives you a little bit of attack boost. As far as his hero specials, he has a similar setup to what the ninjas do, to where it has scaling abilities, but it's a little bit different. It's got a little twist. So special skill has different effect on consecutive uses in the following order. First, so the very first time that he goes off, he deals 280% damage to the target. The target gets a minus 40% accuracy for 3 turns. Chance to miss also applies to offensive special skills. Second, he deals 280% damage to the target nearby allies. The target nearby enemies get minus 40% accuracy for 3 turns. Chance to miss also applies to offensive special skills. And the third is deals 280% damage to all enemies. All enemies get minus 40% accuracy for 3 turns. Chance to miss also applies to special offensive special skills. Gosh. This video is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends. It is a turn-based dark fantasy RPG. If you want a huge head start in Raid, all you gotta do, click on the link in the description. If you're a new player in the next 30 days, you'll receive 1 clan boss key, 1 energy refill, 1 day XP boost, 5 mystery shards, 50 gems, 50,000 silver, and 1 free epic champion. Shaman, all your treasure, it's waiting for you right over here. So essentially, he goes in order. He's changing just targets. So first one is just the first target. The second one is 3 targets or target nearby enemies. And then the third time it goes off, it deals damage to all of them. So what's something that's really important to know is the fourth time he goes off, he goes back to the first. So it's not like he just continuously goes off to where he hits all enemies at 40%. So that is something that does ding him a little bit, because if he goes off the fourth time, you're going all the way back to the first. Probably not a big, probably not the most ideal situation. I do like the character. Obviously, people are going to be comparing it to like Drake Fong, where Drake Fong is pretty much just going to be running on the second pretty consistently. A little bit of a damage and the accuracy change a little bit there. So when you compare him to Drake Fong is going to be dealing 270% damage, and then it's going to be the 35% accuracy. So that's going to be the biggest difference that you're going to see. And then obviously all enemies is going to be a different whole nother thing. So I'm sure you can do the math out on things. To where a lot of times people, I think somebody kind of did the math on it, and predictively they would say that Thor would be better on defense because of the less amount of tiles and the more damage you're receiving. The thing that I'm seeing though is that with the way defenses are going, if you have a defense that's going off multiple times, you're probably going to be losing. That's why I do really like a character like Drake Fong, with him running just at fast speed, dealing damage to target nearby enemies. Sometimes you're really going to need to stick that blind immediately, rather than being having it to where the unknown happens and it could hit a random enemy. I haven't really seen Thor annihilate me too much, whereas Drake Fong has been totally unforgiving, and it always seems to come at the most inopportune times possible. So I know that that's going to be the very first correlation people are going to say, which one's better, Thor or Drake Fong? I'm just going to give you the straight up answer. I still like Drake Fong a bit better, just maybe a hair better, just because I feel it's more consistent and you can expect the damage in the blind a little bit more. Now, obviously, Thor is going to be a little bit more damage, and it's going to be a little bit more accuracy. But just having him, Drake Fong, running at fast speed and just always dealing damage to target nearby enemies, there's a little bit too many unknowns. With the first time it goes off, it's not really going to be that big of a factor. So what is kind of interesting, though, that I do really love about him, though, is that he's a fighter. So that definitely comes into play with fighter emblems. Him being able to come back, revive, and then deal damage, that's going to be a factor. Now, one thing that I don't know, and you can let me know in the comments, is when he does the fighter revive, whether or not it goes back to the first, second, or third, or if it remembers. My first guess is if he dies, it's probably going to go back to his first, but you can let me know in the comments. When we take a look at his Titan grade, he is going to get an A- grade there. I think he could definitely be used on the Titans. Obviously, with him running at very fast speed, he's dealing damage to the target. He's just dealing damage to the target. And then he's also giving the 40% accuracy for 3 turns. So the 3 turns comes into play to where it is a factor. But I still would rather use June on the Titans rather than my boy here, Thor. It's 6 turns that you're going to be getting out of June, which is definitely going to be a factor for sure. So you could definitely use them if you don't have a blind character. I personally like using June. If you compare him versus Drake Fong, if you have them both emblemed up, obviously I'm going to go with Thor. You get a little bit more accuracy decrease, whereas Drake Fong is going to be less decrease and less damage. So, but I think that just depends on who has your emblems and what they're using. I do really like using a blind character on the Titans. So that is a little bit of a factor there. And especially if you got some emblems on him, definitely could see him swinging up for that grade, but it's all contingent on emblems. Currently, though, he's an A-. Take a look at him offensively. He is going to get an A, maybe close to an A+, but I think A is probably right where he needs to be at. With him running at very fast speed, he's dealing the damage to the target. Could really help out to where he's positioning himself to where, you know, that target could really impact the board quite a bit. Especially if you start throwing some mana troops on him, it's pretty easy to get him down to where it's only 6 tiles to charge him, which is only 3 tiles ghosted. And what ghosted means is when the tiles go and they don't hit any enemies. Now, things might change quite a bit when the raid formations come out and those go live, so we'll see how that goes. But right now, currently, it's kind of sweet. I do like that quite a bit. Maybe that goes into A+, but still going to be really awesome on offense, because we know how impacting blind can be to really pin them down. And then I do like towards the late game, it just kind of hits everybody. So that's pretty cool too. We take a look at him offensively. He is going to get an A- as far as the tank grade goes. I think that he leaves a little bit more to be desired. He could potentially die before he's going off multiple times. And not to mention, defensively, he doesn't have that greatest stats. So that definitely does go against him. He is going to get the A- grade there. In the flank, he is going to get an A. Maybe this is close to an A+. I haven't really come to terms with that. And I think some things are still going to need to develop with him. There is the potential for him to go up, and maybe a little bit of a potential for him to go down. But still, other than that, I think that he's a great character, running at very fast speed, dealing damage to the target, and then giving the accuracy decrease, and then just increasing everything as he goes up. I think he's really solid in the flank. He's going to get the A grade. And then in the wing, another situation where he's going to get the A grade, running at very fast speed, dealing damage. You guys know it's scaling up, so it could be used there for sure. So currently right now on defense, he is getting the A. I could see this being a potential to where it does go into the A+, and definitely probably a potential to where it goes down into A-. I think that Drake Fong currently is still going to get the hedge out just a little bit, because I think it's going to give you a little bit more consistent results, and hitting 3 people right in the very beginning is going to be really, really important. It really does mess up things quite a bit. We get into the weekly raid grade. He is going to get a B+ on rush attack. Obviously, with him already running at very fast speed, he's already running at very fast speed. So I think that, you know, obviously I'd much rather use like Justice or even like Neath. Neath is pretty amazing in the weekly raid. So I think that there are some better characters in the weekly rush attack especially with him running it very fast, but he's still going to be pretty solid. On buff, he is going to get an A-. Obviously, it doesn't really impact in terms of the buff itself, but he's just in a position where he's running at very fast speed and he can really kind of take out something that could be causing him an issue. And then on Bloody Battle, he is going to get an A grade there, obviously with him just running at very fast speed initially and then scaling up and then making it so that they're pretty much going to be blind. You can pick and choose different things, so I do like him on Bloody Battle. He is currently going to get an overall grade of an A. This is one of those grades that could go up a little bit and then also could definitely go down just a little bit. I don't think that he's overpowered currently, but I think that he's still a solid character for sure. So thanks so much for watching this content. Please make sure you subscribe, turn those notifications on, and I'll see you on the next video.